Coming up right now, it's the story of a hero grandma who took on a criminal on the run while she was enjoying her movie night with the granddaughter. We'll tell it to you.
Also coming up, a restaurant is offering a tempting hot wing challenge, but it also comes with a deadly warning.
Whoa. All right, a little bit later on, love is really in the air, and we got more on a very special proposal from a pilot. Well, it's gone viral.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
Hi, I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We're going to kick off this week on the right step for sure. We have all your trending news and entertainment, everything you need. Just have some fun with us. We definitely want you to do that. We'll also be checking in with our buddy Matt Doolittle. Matty.
Hi,
Matt, I got to tell you, Matt is, we're like the tech people, but you would have thought that his life was over because he didn't have a charger. Did you ever wind up getting a charger today for your computer?
This is actually just for play right now. It's been dead all morning, so it's just here for show.
I love that you did that. That's awesome. You're looking at a blank screen right now?
Yeah. No, it's just completely dead. This is
Where's your charger, Maddie?
It's at home. I got a weird setup because it's got all my video stuff plugged into it. It comes loose sometimes at night, or the cat knocks it out or something. I don't know.
We don't have any extra chargers around?
No, we looked everywhere. That's the thing. And I would have, if I brought my backpack, I would have all kinds of chargers.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
course.
telling you, every kind of charger.
Every kind of cord, every kind of charger imaginable.
Not for poor Maddie.
We're so stuck in this age where we gotta have a charger for everything that I'm waiting for it to just get where there's like charging through the air. Like they're doing that with some roads right now where they'll charge your car while you're driving on it.
Really?
But I'm waiting for that to have just virtual charging.
Oh my goodness.
Over the air. Then, then our brain is going to get it.
It's already mush. This
I'm
thing's already
surprised
shot.
outlets don't come with built-in chargers for you, just so
Like
you
you
have
could
the
pull it
option
out.
of like a
That's a
cable,
good
right?
idea.
Isn't that a great
Yeah,
idea?
like you would,
Yeah, you
like
just
a
pull it out.
vacuum.
Yeah.
That's a great
like
idea.
the airbag. Yeah, and so you just pick your cable and you just pull it out and plug it in.
It. I'm glad that Apple decided to go to that. What is
Yes,
it?
I was just going to
yeah,
say.
yeah, exactly.
Make it a little bit more standardized.
Mermaids. We've had a mermaid on the show. Remember, we had a mermaid on the show, right? There's a gal in Miami. She is a professional mermaid.
They have professional mermaids.
They do. I know.
It takes a
odd.
special kind.
It is a special kind. She says she can make up to $10,000 a day performing at events.
Wow.
Yeah, her biggest event so far has been for Bruno Mars. She performed at one of his parties, and the next big event for her will be the Formula One race down in Miami. But she's making some serious money doing this.
There is a company in Florida that makes those tails that she has.
Yes, those things are expensive.
They're very expensive. They're very, very expensive. They're very expensive.
Have you bought a few? Got a few in the shop.
Anyway, and so, but and no matter where a mermaid comes out, kids just come. They love it, and everybody wants a picture with a mermaid.
ridiculous.
So I can see her making a lot of money like that.
And if you come to Florida, one of the best things to do is go to Weeki Wachee. It's just a complete experience.
Yeah.
You have to go, just because it's so old school and very like 1950s-ish.
It is, and they haven't really changed all that much after
not much
that.
at all.
And the mermaids there are just absolutely beautiful and have a straight head. All right, a grandmother is being. There's a whole story there. You go.
That's a different show.
A grandmother now being hailed a hero after she shot a criminal on the run from cops. True story. Check this out. The grandma was enjoying the Taylor Swift era's movie with her 4-year-old granddaughter.
She's a grandma?
Yeah.
My goodness.
When a stranger busted in right there at her front door. Well, Granny tried to convince him, you need to get out of this house. Well, he did. Then he returned back a few minutes later, and that's when the 45-year-old grandma grabbed her gun and shot at the intruder. She helped put pressure on his wound while she waited for cops to arrive. She told the suspect, listen, she wouldn't hesitate to shoot him again if he tries any tricks. Cops showed up a few minutes later, took him away, and we talk about guns and gun safety. I think that the first thing that they teach you if you have your gun is you got to be prepared to use it. You can't if you're not willing to kill somebody with it, meaning for self-defense, then do not get one. Am I right, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a true story. I mean, it shows you a good form of that. I don't advocate going around shooting everybody, but you have a home and you're able to protect it. And then when Mama Bear, I know there's a Mama Bear and then there's Grandma bears are a lot worse.
Grandma bears are a lot worse.
Lovers. So
yeah.
there you go.
Because grandma bears have reached a point where they don't care.
They don't care anymore.
They do
They've gone
not
through
care.
it all. You're absolutely right.
That guy in prison, what are you in here for? A grandma shot
Grandma.
me. Get out. Just get out.
Yeah, you're going to be popular, right?
Where's your prison man card? It needs to be turned over immediately.
There's a restaurant that's offering a hot wings challenge that actually could be deadly.
Come on.
Wing Kings, in the UK, they run an Earn Your Wings endurance test and offers any challenger to take on 15 chicken wings coated in a Carolina Reaper sauce. Now, if the participants can polish off all 15 wings in 10 minutes and endure the 5-minute burn time, they get a free meal. Their name's also added to the restaurant's Hall of Fame. All right, you've seen stuff like this. But anyone who wants to take on this challenge has to sign a waiver and acknowledge that the hot pepper spice could actually cause extreme illness or even death. Competitors also have to wear black gloves to handle the wings and are strongly advised to keep their hands away from their eyes at all times. The Carolina Reaper sauce, it measures up to 2.2 million on the Scoville heat scale. That means it's 200 times hotter than your garden variety jalapeno. No, not here at all. Restaurant staff say that very few people have finished the plate. Only about 3 customers out of about a dozen have actually met the $17 challenge. And you get your $17, and you're probably not going to eat any time afterwards, or maybe even the next day. I've done something similar to this for charity.
And?
It was a wasabi eating, and you had 10 stages, and each one it got hotter and hotter. I made it to 8, and the following 3 days, I'm telling you,
I was going to say.
brutal. And I don't know how people do it.
I can't imagine. For 17
For $17, yeah.
Come on.
Just to
really?
get your name up there, I guess. And a free meal.
I mean, I know there are people that are like hot sauce aficionados, so maybe this is kind of up their alley, but I just can't imagine for $17 attempting to risk my health for that.
And why, and it's going to affect your body in the first off.
I was telling you guys, I just watched Conan do his hot ones, the
game show.
The chat show.
Yeah.
He started chugging the hot sauce bottle, and that even made me go, oh, that doesn't look like that's going to end well.
The things people do for comedy, right?
Because what goes in must come out.
Oh, yeah.
And
it usually comes out both ways and any other orifice you might have, trust me.
And I'm sure it burns just as bad.
Make you sweat blood.
Oh my God.
I'm getting sick thinking about it when I did that.
Well, a clip of a pilot has gone viral after he proposed to his unsuspecting flight attendant girlfriend. The captain of a Polish Airlines took the meaning of love is in the air to new heights. Video taken on board the flight shows the captain coming out of the cockpit, introducing himself to passengers on the PA system. He starts to tear up about his girlfriend before getting down there on bended knee and popping the question. She's running down the aisle of the plane before leaping into his arms. Caught up in all the shock of it, she wasn't sure which hand the ring was supposed to go on. Passengers watched in anticipation of her answer, with one yelling, "Did she say yes?" To which the beaming captain responded,
Yes.
"She said yes." Aww.
And then the flight was canceled.
And the flight was canceled.
And there's me in the background. That's nice. Can we get going here? I got to be in Pittsburgh.
I got a connection.
I got things to do.
This is great.
A connection for sure. All right, visitors from the United States, Canada, and Australia are actually going to need more than just their passports if you want to check out Brazil. Visitors now must provide 3 personal banking statements or their last 6 pay stubs to show proof of income before they're actually granted a visa to visit.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you don't have at least $2,000 in your bank account, you're going to need somebody to sponsor you, believe it or not. The U.S. actually has a similar policy for Brazilians who wish to visit America. Visas to visit Brazil, they're restricted to 90 days per year and valid up to 10 years. I was not aware of this when I was reading about it, but I guess because they don't want people coming over here. If you don't have enough money you're going to wind up getting stuck here, and then the state has to take care of you.
Right.
That sort of thing. I imagine that's why.
I think it shows that you have a bank account, so it's not drug money. So you're not taking cash with you back and forth. So you have to show that you actually have a bank account.
But they're saying you have to have at least $2,000 in your bank account.
Yeah, but I think that goes into it too.
Anybody have $2,000? I can't go to Brazil. I'm not going to Brazil.
I just can't imagine wanting to turn your bank statements over to the Brazilian government.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's legit and all, but I mean, that's personal information.
Yeah, and you obviously you get to mark out your bank account number.
Numbers,
that's
right?
a lot of that. So if anything, I guess. And then who has pay stubs anymore?
That's true. Yeah.
Good luck trying to find a pay stub. Yeah, no kidding. Isn't that the truth? While the Paris Hiltons and Justin Biebers of the world are known for carting their precious pups around in pricey totes, one woman's pocketbook is full of feathers. This bougie bird keeper has attracted more than 2 million followers to her purse pigeon page. She has a series of videos featuring clips of the pidge being transported from New York City in a fancy leather carryall. The unlikely twosome spend nights out on the town grabbing martinis, catching Ubers, and stopping by parties. She took the bird to a wildlife center for treatment before deciding to become its adoptive mom. And as a pigeon parent, she does it all, including bathing, feeding, potty training. Birdwatchers online are stunned by the pigeon's amazing life.
How do you potty train a pigeon? You just take them to a statue? What?
Very carefully.
Very carefully. All right, yeah. All right, we have more Flash coming your way. Trending news and entertainment, we got it for you.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Many of us are familiar with that inner voice, the self-talk we sometimes find ourselves in when we encounter certain situations. However, I happen to know someone who doesn't have an inner monologue. There, okay, I said it. But I'm not alone.
Did you know that nearly 50% of people don't have a voice inside their head? This voice is called the inner monologue. It allows you to hear yourself without speaking, and researchers don't yet know why some people have it while others don't. But one study found that people with aphantasia, which prevents someone from seeing visual imagery in their mind, also had very little inner monologue. So what's it like without one?
Interesting.
So this means that up to about 70% of people don't have a talkative brain, right? Experts want you to keep this in mind. Get it? Keep this in mind.
I
You
love
like
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your inner voice's intensity can change depending on your mental state. So, guys, do you have an inner monologue?
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matt?
if you think about it.
Oh yeah, mine goes off all the time.
I'll be a
It's-
monkey's tick turd. How about that, man?
Just keeps going and.
I have these thoughts all the time.
Yeah. Well, and
talking
then there's
about
this crowd of about, 33,000
I wonder if
people
she
that,
thinks I have
just
bad
sort of
breath.
talk about
Maybe I should look
things.
back
And,
at
it's interesting because, when you think about another study that it's possible for people to experience a mix of both inner
copyright
speech
songs even in thoughts.
and thoughts without words.
What if I talk like a robot?
Greetings, my name is Mitch.
I use headphones to shut it out, so.
I think
Yeah.
Matt owes
That's what
me
I really-
$20.
Well, sometimes you think, I wish I would stop talking
this is
in my
cool.
head.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kind of quiet things down.
It just wants to shut off.
My
Yeah.
mind is the Grand
And it just
Canyon.
keeps going. And I talk to myself in the car too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, do you find multitasking?
what are we
it gets
talking
a
about
little
again?
bit-
It does, but sometimes
Confusing.
it'll help me focus a little
Yeah.
bit. So, sometimes it can help.
Right. People like that are stupid. Aphasia.
Right? You've never heard of that?
Never
Aphasia?
whatsoever at all.
Well, and they say the reason why so many of us process things differently is super sciencey and complex, but can be related to our brain structure and personality.
Interesting. Do you appreciate people that just say what's on their mind?
Yes and no. Sometimes I wish I could have that person. I could be that person with no filter because I feel like those people just get away with everything, and it's terrific. It's refreshing.
And they're actually. People look at them like, wow, he just says what's on his mind. And
Yes.
or like, he must have a lot of confidence when come to find out. It's just that, no, you don't know how keeping things to yourself is important.
Yes, yeah.
I've had to learn that. I'm sure, Matt, you have as well, that, there's things that you want to say, but there's things you just can't
Has
say.
anybody met my mother? Nope, no filter there.
Mother's lovely.
And then you also wonder, it seems like is there any kind of medication that'll help this? And it's called alcohol, which will make if it's the other way around, like if you don't want to say anything,
it shuts it up. Then it also opens it up.
It doesn't shut it up. That's what I'm saying. Like if you keep everything in,
But
that's what gets
some
up.
of the best comics that do that, like a Larry David, Belzer used to
Richard
just
Belzer, yeah,
open it
yeah.
up. Those types of comics just open it up, and you're like, oh, okay, I could never say that, but have at it.
And then you gain
Pressure.
respect for them because they're like, wow, they're not afraid. When you come to find out, you realize, well, they say it because that's what they're thinking, and it comes out. And I think in this day and age of being canceled so much,
Yes.
I think more and more people. This is something. The reason why we're talking about it is that more and more people are going to get canceled because they're just saying what's on their mind.
I always think about this question, like when it comes to something like that, wouldn't you want to know honestly what someone thinks rather than for them to keep it inside and for it to explode in some other way somewhere down the line?
Well, there's passive aggressive stuff too.
Exactly.
That people, they kind of, they don't exactly say it, but they kind of say it. But then you're like, just say the real thing. Come on, let's go. Like,
which is worse? Like, would you rather them not say it or be passive aggressive about it?
Say it. Like, just come on, get it out. Let's go.
I know.
Well, it's the Band-Aid. Rip it off, then you know what the issue is. You can start dealing with it. And but then again, there are some things I think you shouldn't say because you need to think it out a little bit more.
That's true.
On the other side of that. So it's those things. We wouldn't know what you think. Do you know somebody like this? And has there been an instance where maybe you were in a situation where somebody was saying something? We're talking about your kids. You know, because there's an age where kids will just say whatever they think. We want to hear, we'd love to share those stories on our show. You can drop us an email at flash@dailyflashshow.com. There, of course, we'll share it on the air. All right, there we go. Maddie, what do you got?
Well, thank you, Mitch and Andrea. Well, you definitely don't want to know what's going on in my mind. And then there's this. There's a crowd of 3,000 people who had to wait half an hour for a recent English women's soccer league game. Why? Because the team had matching socks. I can tell you from being over there, they're very personal about this.
Okay.
No, it wasn't a fashion faux pas. It's actually a rule. And apparently Arsenal turned up at a Chelsea match with the same colored white socks.
Oh.
How did they remedy it? Well, Arsenal had to go into the Chelsea Megastore, which, one of their team stores, and buy black socks. And since Arsenal is sponsored by Adidas, as they say it over there, they had to use tape to try and hide the Chelsea and Nike logos.
Oh.
In case you're wondering, WSL leader Chelsea won the game 3-1. I'm a Manchester United fan, so go Reds, go. But, either way, over there, they're very, very strict about how the colors go, how the kit, they call kits. Yeah. They're called kits.
Socks are called kits?
Kits.
The kits, like the whole outfit. Outfit's called the kit.
But overall, when y'all say you went to senior there, Matt, you just recently there, but they follow rules. Like they respect rules.
There's certain protocol. There's protocol. There's boundaries. There's tradition that they follow, which is kind of refreshing.
But how embarrassing though, because they had to wear their competitors' actual socks and had to buy the socks at their store, and then they had to hide the logo.
You got to hide the logo. Like Jordan had this thing where there was a competing champion had an Olympic jersey back in one of the Olympics, and he put tape over it because he's a Nike guy. So those guys get very strict with that. They're like, oh no, I'm not wearing Adidas.
And don't talk about his son either, making the whole UCF have to change shoes.
Oh
right?
yeah, well UCF had to go from Adidas to Nike
because
and then to Jordan.
See, there's a no filter example right there.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, we'll try to get our filters on, and we're going to do a little boss lady here, especially since it's Women's History Month.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay with us. We're back right after this. In this week's Boss Lady, we take a closer look at Rosie the Riveter. The iconic image represents a generation of women who worked behind the scenes during World War II. Many believe these women paved the way for a new generation of female workers, aka boss ladies. One such woman was Eleanor Otto. Eleanor was known as one of the original Rosie the Riveters. She recently passed away, but not before sharing her story with the American Veterans Center. Take a look.
I was in San Diego, and they advertised for women if they would like to come to work because the men were going to war. Then I applied at Roar Aircraft in Chula Vista, and they hired all the women that came there. Other women came from other states to work when they heard about it because first time women had that type of job. My mother and my stepdad, and they all thought it was a very exciting thing. My sister and I went to work. I had a sister living in San Francisco. She became a welder on a ship. And my sister and I were riveters. The men taught us and how the tools and riveting and all that. But we had to have some men there to show us work that we had never done. And it didn't take us long to catch on. We could see that the men's job wasn't as hard as they made us think it was. And we all did it. That's why we going like that, because we all did it. And it didn't take us long to learn. And because we got cooperations from the men, at first they were kind of dubious about having women come in and do their jobs. But after they learned that we were ready to be experienced and cooperating in everything they wanted us to do, it worked out great. We all got along great. We worked on bigger parts, like the nose of the plane or the fuselage of the plane, connecting parts and even wiring. And sometimes they'd want us to work overtime if they had a schedule to meet to get the plane out in time, to send the parts over to put on the big plane. It's a challenge. Women want to be challenged, and which we have been, and look what it's brought. We get congratulations from all these women that are CEOs and presidents of corporations that we paved the way. So proud of that fact. I never realized till now. I didn't realize how important it was then, because it was just something we were doing. We knew how important it was in a way because we knew we had to win the war. We had to win that war. So that's why we kept busy and kept working at it. But we didn't know how important it was, and being special doing it as women. I worked in the office. I didn't like that because I wasn't moving around enough. So I started doing car hopping, bring food to the car, put it on the windshield. They put us on skates, and then I got out of that. I know I'd been falling down and everything. So I did that for quite a while. So from 1945 to 51, I did other things. So then in 51, I worked at Ryan Aeronautical for 14 years, and they built the Spirit of St. Louis for Charles Lindbergh. And then in 1964, they laid us off because they stopped building airplanes. So about a year I didn't work, and somebody I knew came up here to Long Beach, and she said, "You better get up here because Douglas is hiring women for the first time since the war." Got hired just like that when they found out we had worked at Ryan. And they promised me 10 years of work. I've been there 49. I have to tell some guys sometimes, there's a rivet gun about this big, and when I grab it and go to use it, one of the guys went and told the boss, "She's using that big rivet gun." I said, "I've been using this rivet gun before you were born." I said, "I'm not as frail as I look. I'm strong." I had to tell them that. You got to fight your way with men, you know. The guys would say, "You're working too fast. You're making us look bad." I said, "Well, keep working then." They wondered, where did I get my energy? Which I still have. One time my sister, not too long ago, she said, "Are you ever going to retire?" And she, "What are you going to do, work till you're 95? Little did I know. I just got smart. I said, "Maybe." Little did I know. It's amazing that I lived this long and I was aware and seeing the differences, and I'm proud of that. Years ago, we couldn't get certain jobs. If you wanted to get credit, you couldn't even get credit. And so many things have changed, the women, and if we had a part of it, I am so happy.
Eleanor first went to work as a riveter in World War II, and she was still at it 70 years later. Otto was known for working on every single C-17 at the Boeing plant up until the day she finally decided to call it quits. Eleanor retired at the age of 95 in 2014. There's even a bar named after her in Long Beach, California. She recently passed away a few months ago in Las Vegas from a stroke. She was 104 years old. If you know a boss lady you think should be featured on our show, drop me a line at Andrea at dailyflashshow.com. We would love to hear from you and share a new bossy story. And if you want to check out all of our previous Boss Lady segments, all you have to do is head to our website, dailyflashshow.com. Once you're there, look for the Boss Lady tab. Click on it and it will take you to all the previous boss ladies we featured on our show. Again, dailyflashshow.com. Email me, Andrea at dailyflashshow.com, if you know a boss lady you want to be featured on the show. So much more straight ahead. We've got news, entertainment, everything in between coming your way right here on Daily Flash. Don't go anywhere. You miss a minute, you miss a lot.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. So glad to have you along with us. We're going to give you all the fun you need for today. Have you ever gone in and I haven't really drank soft drinks in quite some time, but I have noticed this. When you go into your convenience store or whatever, and you open it up and you see the Coca-Colas up there, and you see a couple with like a yellow lid. have like a yellow lid up on the top of it. All right, if you ever do, I mean, occasionally see it. That's basically, that means it's kosher. So Coca-Cola does that. So if you want, you need a kosher Coca-Cola, that's actually hard to say, it have a yellow tab on it. So now you know.
Who knew?
Yeah, I learned that the other
I'm
day.
not going to win $1 million with a yellow.
No, well, you might. I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't count on it.
A kosher Coca-Cola.
Aha, yes, that's what it is.
Well, check this out. A grandmother is being hailed a hero after she shot a criminal on the run from cops. The grandma was enjoying the Taylor Swift Eras movie with her 4-year-old granddaughter when a stranger busted through her front door. Granny tried to convince the guy to leave. He did, but then he returned about a few minutes later. That's when the 45-year-old grandma grabbed her gun and shot at the intruder. Wow. She helped put pressure on his wound while she waited for police to arrive. She told the suspect she would not hesitate to shoot him again if he tried any tricks. Police arrived a few minutes later and took the bad guy away.
And she helped him, which is, I thought that's the mom in her is like, look, I want you to die on me here, but you do anything, I'm gonna make sure
I'm really
gonna
finish it up.
Yeah, and you can't, when you have grandkids and kids, you'll do anything to protect them, right?
Very true. Well, a restaurant is offering a hot wings challenge that could be deadly. Wing Kings in the UK runs an Earn Your Wings endurance test and offers any challenger to take on 15 chicken wings coated in a Carolina Reaper sauce.
No.
If participants can polish off all 15 wings in just 10 minutes and endure the 5-minute burn time, they get a free meal and their name added to the restaurant's Hall of Fame. Anyone who wants to take on the challenge, though, must sign a waiver and acknowledge the hot pepper sauce could cause extreme illness or even death. Competitors must also wear black gloves to handle the wings and are strongly advised to keep their hands away from their eyes at all times. The Carolina Reaper sauce measures up to 2.2 million on the Scoville heat scale, meaning it's 200 times hotter than your garden variety jalapeno.
Wow.
Restaurant staff say very few people are able to finish the plate, and only 3 customers out of about a dozen have met the $17 challenge.
You see their faces on there when they do it. They're all doing it with a toothpick, which is smart. And just the pain after 2 minutes that one dude was going through, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
I did one of these once where you had to sign the waiver of the restaurant, to even try the hot sauce.
Yeah.
And me trying to be Mr. Impressive to a girl on a date.
Oh.
Did it. Backfired completely. I was on the ground almost crying.
No.
It hurt. It really hurt.
And the rest of your night was messed up.
Oh, it was done.
So-
Like that date, I didn't see her again.
Yeah, well,
That was sort of a deal breaker.
that was it.
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. All right, a clip of a pilot gone viral after he proposed to his unsuspecting flight attendant girlfriend. Captain of a Polish airline took the meaning of love is in the air to new heights. Video taken on board of the flight, it shows the captain coming out of the cockpit. He introduces himself to the passengers over the PA system. Then he starts to tear up about his girlfriend. Then he gets down on one knee, on bended knee, and pops the question.
Aww.
Flight attendant, her name is Paula, could be seen running down the aisle of the plane before leaping into the arms of her future husband. Caught up in the shock of it all, she wasn't actually sure which hand the ring was supposed to go on. You do forget about that sort of thing.
Right.
Passengers watching in anticipation of her answer, somebody yelled out, "Hey, did she say yes?" And the captain, beaming pride, said yes. She said yes. So good job.
Do they
on that.
instantly go join
Congratulations.
the Mile High Club? Like when they take off?
that
do
would-
they just take off to the bathroom? And...
That's maybe it could have been how they met.
Does the co-pilot take over at that point?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, your whole your mind is on your First off, meeting somebody at work is one thing, but
Sure.
when you're up in the air, and I know a lot of times, you're spending plenty of time, and you go to the hotels and that sort of thing. So maybe that's where all that happened. I don't know. We have make sure that here's the
If she
thing.
said no, do you want him still piloting your plane?
There you go.
No,
That's a great question.
it's all over for me and all of you.
You better have said yes for sure. All right, more Flash coming up after this. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Every year, National Small Business Week celebrates America's entrepreneurs who run small businesses, including those who actually work from home. Here's tech expert Mark Saltzman with the best tech tools to help companies thrive. Hey there, Mark.
Hi, thanks for having me back on the Daily Flash. I've partnered with a few great brands that can help small businesses remain efficient and stay competitive. So let's start off with one of the most important considerations, a laptop. The HP Dragonfly Notebook G4 is packed with innovation to empower any small business. In addition to its thin and light design to take your work with you anywhere, this Intel Core-powered PC features a stunning 13.5-inch display, along with a wide-angle 5-megapixel webcam for you to look and sound your best, and move freely during calls. It's sustainable too, with enclosures made from 90% recycled magnesium, while your business's data is protected with HP Wolf security. Now, as for home or small office printers, maximize your workplace productivity with the HP Color LaserJet Pro 3000 series. It's a new and high-quality laser printer family that delivers fast, reliable, and professional performance. Bring all your business documents to life with incredibly vivid color and much faster print speeds than its predecessor. And it includes the new and sustainable TerraJet toner, enabling up to 27% reduced energy consumption and up to 28% reduction of toner cartridge plastics. Since so many employees now work remotely today or connect with clients in other locations, this is great for video communication. It's the Poly Studio R30 Video Bar, the next best thing to actually being there in person. It makes every interaction feel incredibly natural. It offers exceptional video quality, intelligent camera framing, and a wide 120-degree field of view, ensuring an immersive collaboration experience. And it's not just how it looks, but how it sounds, as the Poly Studio R30 elevates meetings with exceptional voice clarity and intelligent noise reduction to ensure every participant can be heard. Well, if you're a small business owner, Block Advisors by H&R Block should definitely be on your radar. Think of them as your all-in-one team for your business needs that can often be confusing or time-consuming. Fusing cutting-edge tech with professional expertise, they can help with taxes, of course, but also setting up your business, bookkeeping, and handling payroll. With more than 2 million small businesses using their services annually, they know their stuff. BlockAdvisors.com has more. And finally, Vonage Business Communications. It gives small businesses a cost-effective way to communicate and collaborate from virtually anywhere. It's easy to deploy and supports voice calls, messaging, and video conferencing on your computer or mobile device, and works with VoIP desk phones too. Features include chat, screen share, recording, whiteboards, and more, and can be integrated with popular business apps like Microsoft Teams and Salesforce, and Vonage Contact Center. Vonage.com has more. For everything covered here today, simply head on over to inthenews.tv.
A woman who claims to have inspired the unhinged lead character in the new Netflix series Baby Reindeer says she is considering suing the streamer for defamation. The unnamed lady claims that because of the show's creator Richard Gadd, viewers have uncovered her identity and subjected her to death threats. Baby Reindeer, which Gadd says is based on events in his actual life, revolves around a stalker named Martha who obsessively sends him more than 41,000 emails, 744 tweets and texts, and 100 pages of letters over the course of several years. But the real-life Martha insists that Gadd is actually the one obsessed with her, saying that he's using Baby Reindeer to stalk her, and now she's the victim. Baby Reindeer has become a huge hit for Netflix, rocketing to #1 on the streaming service in 30 countries. Gadd has claimed he disguised the person who inspired Martha's character so well that he doesn't think she or he would be able to recognize their identity.
Interesting. And I was hooked on this. I started watching, and like I wanted to find out what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
And it was sad. It was like, and he did some of the stupidest things, but he was very honest. I really appreciated that because he did some really bad things.
Yeah, some
too.
raw honesty in that. And there's a 12-minute vignette after it that you should watch that he tells, more insight into his story. But there was an article saying that Martha could have been a he.
A man?
Yeah.
That is interesting. More Flash after this. All right, welcome back to Daily Flash. Now, great ideas for when hunger strikes. Check it out.
Picnic season is here, and I like to find ways I can make my picnic extra elevated and special. Check out these fun Black Forest Swizzle Sticks I made that add the perfect garnish to any drink. Remember to pack extra gummy bears in your basket for snacking. I like to pack bento boxes for lunch, and I add Black Forest gummy bears for a fun treat. These soft and juicy gummy bears are delicious, and they're not just for kids. My friends and I love them too. I love that Black Forest gummy bears are made with real fruit juice, and they're versatile enough for any occasion. Include these soft and juicy gummy bears in an elevated snack platter for your girls' night, and they're also great to have on hand so you have a sweet treat for your next girl dinner. Black Forest gummy bears are the best tasting gummy bears, and they're now juicier than ever before. Crafted with care, they're made with real ingredients, including real fruit juice and colors and flavors from real sources. You can find them at a retailer near you and visit blackforestusa.com to learn more.
Financial experts say it's important for parents to talk about their inheritance plans with their children. Here's more.
Half of Americans are expecting to receive an inheritance in the next 10 years, so it's important for families to start discussing their plans now. Lena Haas, head of Wealth Management Advice and Solutions at Edward Jones.
It's estimated that baby boomers and silent generation will pass down over $84 trillion in assets through 2045. This is all part of the Great Wealth Transfer, and it's critical conversation for younger generations to have with their families.
Edward Jones recently conducted a survey that found nearly half of Americans plan to leave an inheritance, but just over a third actually plan on discussing the transfer of wealth.
People are living longer and spending more money, and that's going to affect how much wealth is passed down. We know it's a difficult process and can be uncomfortable, but it is so crucial to have these discussions, and the expert guidance of a financial professional can help navigate the emotions and educate everyone on the process.
To learn more, visit edwardjones.com/estate planning.
May 6th is Melanoma Awareness Day. We have more from an expert on sunscreen myths and sharing tips for sun protection.
Thank you for having me. Melanoma is a type of skin cancer that's primarily caused by sun exposure, and so everyone is at risk. It's so common that nearly 5 million Americans are treated every year. In fact, more people are diagnosed with skin cancer each year in the U.S. than all other cancers combined. The good news, though, is that it's preventable, and I've partnered with Neutrogena to spread the word. For years, Neutrogena has been committed to supporting sun safety and providing sunscreen solutions for all as a preventative measure for skin cancer. And in honor of Melanoma Awareness Month this May, Neutrogena is proud to share it has donated over $1 million to the Melanoma Research Foundation over their 7-year relationship. And what I love about the brand is that they make it super easy to choose the sunscreen that works best for specific needs so that you actually use it every day. So, what are some common myths and misconceptions around sunscreen? Well, the first is thinking that because there's SPF in your makeup, you don't need to wear sunscreen. Unfortunately, the SPF in makeup is not enough to limit the harmful effects of UV rays. If you're looking for an SPF that works well under makeup, you can try the Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Face Serum SPF 60. It's a weightless serum that protects, hydrates, and primes the skin for makeup in one step. The second myth is thinking that if you have dark skin, you don't need sunscreen. Well, everyone is at risk for melanoma, so regardless of your skin color, you need to wear sunscreen. A great option is Neutrogena's Invisible Daily Defense Face Serum, SPF 60, and this sunscreen helps fight against environmental aggressors like the ozone and pollution while hydrating the skin. If you want to learn more information, you can check out Neutrogena.com for some helpful tips, and you can get any of these products everywhere at retailers nationwide or on Amazon.com.
Listen up, pet parents. Amazon Pet Day is coming up. Here's what you should know about the 48-hour sale.
In celebration of National Pet Month, Amazon Pet Day is returning for a third year. To break down what consumers can expect, here's Jen Ray from Amazon's Consumer Communications team.
Amazon Pet Day is back with 48 hours of deals on pet products and supplies. On May 7th and 8th, U.S. shoppers can save on everything from treats and food to toys, grooming, apparel, habitats, and more. There's something for any furry, fuzzy, or scaly friend.
Amazon will feature savings on top brands and small businesses and even bring back customer favorite deals.
We'll have thousands of great deals from brands like Purina, Rachel Ray, Fancy Feast, and Earth Rated, and small businesses like Bundle and Joy. Plus favorites from last year like Frontline, Furbo, and Pet Kit. The savings don't stop there. Customers can shop deals on home and electronics to make pets' lives easier and cleaner, including Pet Libro, Ring, and Tractive.
To learn more about Amazon Pet Day deals, visit amazon.com/petday.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. Fentanyl and other synthetic opioids are driving up the numbers of overdose deaths all across the United States. Joining us now is Dr. Jerome Adams. He's with Purdue University, as well as Madeline Hilliard, who's with Team Awareness Combating Overdose and Dopage. Let's talk about this. How has the overdose epidemic actually changed in just recent years, either one of you?
Well, Mitch, synthetic opioids like fentanyl are fast, long-acting, and strong, which makes them extremely dangerous, and they now are responsible for 90% of overdose deaths. And it's important for people to understand the FDA has approved prescription Opvee or nasal nalmefene nasal spray as an emergency treatment to help combat overdose from synthetic opioids such as fentanyl.
And who right now are we seeing is the most at risk for maybe that opioid overdose?
It can be anyone from those who are intentionally using opioids, whether that be heroin, or those that are not intentionally using opioids, such as students who might be accessing pills that they've purchased online, or anyone using a drug such as cocaine, because fentanyl, it only takes 2 milligrams to kill someone, and it's a white, odorless powder that can be mixed into any other substance. So at this point in time, that's why we're seeing such a dramatic increase, because this inexpensive, easy to make drug is finding its way into other substances that people aren't necessarily intending to take.
Scary stuff. And how do you know if somebody is overdosing, doctor? And what are some of the signs and symptoms?
Well, if you see someone who's turning blue, if you see someone who's having trouble breathing, one of the most common things you'll see is that literally they stop breathing. And you've got about 4 minutes before you start to experience brain injury. Time is brain, which is why Madeline and I are so adamant about making sure more people know about how to recognize an overdose and are able to respond with an overdose reversal agent like Opvee or nasal nalmefene.
All righty, and quickly, where can folks go if they want to find out more information on this?
Well, they can go to www.opvee.com, and Madeline has a great website for students.
Students can access free overdose prevention resources at tacoinc.org.
All right, thank you both for joining us. A very serious topic. We'll have this and so much more on our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Trending right now, the New York City subway now has its very own unofficial publication, and the only way to get your hands on a copy is by riding the rails. Public Transport Magazine is a free handout featuring stories and cartoons. The magazine was created by Al Mullen. The 35-year-old video editor and comedian was inspired to launch the reader as a way to reach a wider, more diverse crowd than he usually sees at his stand-up shows. Mullen creates the publication in his apartment and leaves copies at stations around the city. He launched the publication in May of 2022 with 200 copies. It's gained a following from fans who have come across it while riding the subway.
And something nice to read and kind of keep you a little humor, it sounds like, as well. Neat there. It's talking about planes. All aboard, not planes, trains rather. All aboard the Solar Clip Express. For $4,000, you can get a pass on one of 2 vintage trains headed from New York City to Niagara Falls on April 8th. What's happening on that day? Well, an eclipse. It's going to start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, last about 2.5 hours. And the trains will accommodate 18 overnight guests in 6 master suites and 3 double bedrooms. During the train ride, an onboard chef, we're going to serve you gourmet lunches and dinners. The train's claim to fame is turning into the Peanut Special. That was back in 1977 as part of then President Jimmy Carter's inauguration as well. So if you really want to check out, and they're saying they'll take you to Niagara Falls because that's a beautiful place to check out the eclipse. Really neat there. After a tough season for the Mets, management is planning something new for baseball fans at Citi Field. They've hired the Queen's Crew. It's a co-ed dance team with 19 members. The team's going to perform their dance routines in between innings and during the 7th inning stretch, all in an effort to get that crowd going. There they are. Management says the dancers will also perform in the aisles. The review on social media have been mixed, with many fans saying, listen, I just want to come here and watch the game. Others say, you know what, they're going to give it a chance. I think with people like the Savannah Bananas, which you go to a baseball game and it's really a performance the whole time. I think more there, and baseball is seeing decline, people going to it, so they're trying to make it more of like a family fun environment because it's a slow playing game sometimes.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to appeal to a younger generation if they want to keep these games going. I mean, I appreciate the old school, hey, we just want to watch the game, but I think they've got to come up with some new attractions.
And if it's bothering you, maybe you shouldn't watch the baseball game altogether.
True.
Right? That does it for our show. We want to thank you for spending time with us.
Yeah, for more information on any of today's stories, please visit our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Y'all take care. We will see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.